should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my heart can gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit, y'all know they can't stand us, but we U.P.K, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, and shit got me feeling plain. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey.
Preaching officer of 5,000 titles over the I.S.U.P.K, that's the Israelite School University Practice of Knowledge. I'm the deacon manager in GEN.YAHANNA. We started off on 25th on West Harlem, New York. We've been doing this since 1969, and it's bringing the truth to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans here in the Americas. Now, give me a second to get this thing live on TikTok. Make a long story short, what we teaching is contrary to the rest of the world teaching. We gonna get it, right? And that has to do with Christ, right? I.S.U.P.K, right? And so that's why I say, like, you're serving a false God, because contrary to popular belief, a lot of these people out here, I say a lot of these people, you have to understand, Christianity is most definitely, along with every other world religion, serving a false God, right? And the issue I have, when I say issue that all people of, when I say all people of color, so-called the Israelites, right, should have, is how can you love Christ? How can you love God? When I say love Christ and love God, you have to understand it. This is our Christ, right? This is our brother Yahweh. This is our King Yahweh, right? Just like it's our God Yahweh, right? It's our God that's in heaven. God's only been dealing with one nation of people. So when the rest of the world comes up here and says Jesus counts me as his friend, or they say, God loves me, this I know, and they're singing from our old hymns, they're singing from things that we've gone through. It's like they want to reap the benefits of supposedly serving the Most High God, but they have not gone through the curses like we have as a nation of people. See what I'm saying? Because in the scriptures, it declares that both the blessings and curses will happen to the Most High God's people, right? So if all these people are claiming to be of the Most High God, they have not gone through these things yet. You see where they start to be befuddled or muddled up. Right, go ahead and give me Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 30. We're gonna start there real quick.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 30. Take heed to thyself.
So real quick. Just hold that for me. So what it comes down to is now, when I say are you serving the false God, you have to understand that we are people who do things based off tradition. It's just in us to do these things. And not only does the Most High God warns us, right? Christ comes down here, he warns us, hey, y'all are really serious about doing the tradition of men. Y'all really serious about holding down some stuff that some man that came up with. But here the Most High God that established his law and his guidance, and nobody cares about doing these things. Nobody thinks it's to keep up with these things. Why? Because the scriptures declare, the priest has been taught about the fear of men. But I'm gonna go ahead and let him read what he got. Go ahead and read what you got.
Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 30. Take heed to thyself, that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before thee,
Right.
and that thou inquire not after their gods.
Right there. Do not inquire after their gods. So this is what we fast forward. We have to understand when we went into the Babylonian captivity. What's the first thing Nebuchadnezzar did? He said everybody must bow down to this statue. He had a statue built of himself, right? And everybody had to bow down to it. But see, the issue that we have nowadays is people believe in these gods or these wooden deities, these deities that had no life, right? They were created by man, that man passed away, the statue stayed, and people continue to give reverence and give thanks to that made up God because some man had created it. And that became a tradition. This is where you see where we're going? Because things have been created on this earth that don't pertain to us, but because the masses, because a great multitude does it, we assume that this has to be of God, because while there's a great multitude of people can bow down and do these things, if it's not of God, we have to understand the Most High God tells us that exact thing. He's like, hey man, don't do these things. He lets us know it's not about quantity. It's not about great numbers.
Right.
Numbers has nothing to do with serving the right God. Having great numbers has nothing to do about serving the right God. All it has to do with somebody's personal preference on how they want to receive the lie.
Right.
That's all it comes down to. How do you want to hear this lie? You want to hear the lie with hot in there? You want to hear the lie, very mellow and down to earth, just like I'm talking. This is what you see in like a lot of the non-denominations. They just talk to you and be all very passive aggressive. You see what I'm saying? It's all about how you want to be lied to. At the end of the day, there's only one true God. And these other nations around the belt, everybody has created a God in their image. When I say in their image, when you say God knows my heart and that God understands me in grace and this and that, you just created your own God. You created a God that will forgive you for all your wickedness. When I say forgive you, well, you're not being held accountable. That was the issue with the other guys. The guys that man had created, they weren't holding nobody accountable. Even the kings and the people who created these guys didn't even hearken to the things that they forced everybody else to do. They were living a different life. It was all about you being obedient to the God that they created, right? Once you like to go ahead and continue reading.
Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 30 continued. After that they be destroyed from before thee, that thou inquire not after not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods?
Right.
Even so I will do likewise.
Right. Continue reading.
Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 31. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God.
Right, because this God talking. This is why I say, you serve the false God. At any point that you decide to continue to follow a deity, to follow the wood and stone, to follow any religion that's been created, you're following a false God. You're not following the God of the Bible. And this is the issue I have. When I say this is the issue I have, it's because the entire world is done. Everybody in the world has created a God that they love. And the God they love is not the God in the Bible. For those who believe in Christ, all of them have created a version of Christ that they love and that they adore. But it's not the Christ in the Bible, right? How can the thing is the real question comes down to is how can you say you love Christ, right? Christ came from the tribe of Judah. Right? The so-called Negroes here in America come from that same tribe that Christ came from, but yet you love him and you shine and you get weak in your knees and you tear up and the spirit comes over you. And this is not just for the heathen, but this our own people do this, right? Because they're destroyed. They think this is what they're supposed to do. But all these feelings and emotions come over you, and none of them are of God. How do we know this? Because you still hate the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans.
Right.
You still hate the people that Christ came down here to save. Yeah, you hate the people he came down here to redeem. You hate God's children, but you want to sit here and get weak in the knees in the church and fall out loud for what? That's not the spirit of the Most High God. That's not of Christ. That's not what the disciples were teaching. And the reason we know you serving the false God is again, you can't like if God says you can't love me and hate your brother whom you see every day. Come on, heathen, y'all gotta help me out. How can y'all love him and then turn around and hate his people?
Right.
The remnant of his people, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. You have such a hate for them that they begin to hate themselves. Right? So like I know for some of y'all, I'm a big anime fan, right? When I say anime fan, I don't know if y'all watch Attack on Titan, but a lot of these animes, they always try to create some type of storyline, and it always seems to correlate sometimes with the Bible. But I'm gonna break it down to you real quick. These Eldians, right? And the Eldians were chosen by God. They had his blood, and they could destroy the world, and this, that, the third, right? But all the nations on the earth had came together, and they were sending them to this island, right? And calling them devils. Sounds familiar, right? Not they say that's saying y'all send it to an island, but at some point, all nations hate us, right? And these aliens grew to a point that even after they came to the knowledge to know that they were of a God descent or a God child, they sought to wish themselves away because the world would be better if they had not been born. And this is what the nations do to our people today, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans.
Right.
The brother brought out a class last time in regards to white dog, black dog experience. These are toddlers out here, right? Which one is the pretty dog? They'll point at the Caucasian baby. Which one's the ugly dog? They'll point at the dark-skinned baby. They'll say, which one was more like you? And they'll point at the dark-skinned baby, right? And they'll say, of course, it goes down to which one do you love? I love the white baby. Why don't you like that one? Because he got black. I like that one. He got blue eyes. We're being taught to hate ourselves. And in doing so, when we hate ourselves, what we do the same thing I saw in the enemy. We eradicate one another. We hate ourselves so much that we don't show the same compassion that these other nations show to one another.
Right.
We don't. Why? We've been taught. Why? They created gods and deities that they worship, a great multitude worship, and you come and you're born into this earth and you think, oh, because this great multitude worshiping this God and this deity, then I must worship this God and this deity. But the Most High God is saying, no, don't worship no gods and no deities. Remember the things I told you. Remember me. Come serve me, right? He says, don't worship me like they worship their God. But again, because we are weak-minded and we always do things based off the tradition of men. It's just in it. Christ addressed it several times about doing things that were tradition of men, right? But before we jump into that, give me Isaiah 29:13, right? Because then it goes back to our fear, right? Because when Christianity was formed and when Christianity was at its growing, you have to understand, the so-called Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, you were in captivity. You were being destroyed.
Right.
Another world doesn't want you to hear this. They want you to hear a different version of history. They want you to hear that we were all singing Kumbaya. We just have to be indentured servants, and then they decide to let us go and live our best life. But that's not the truth. It's crazy that when it comes to accountability, the world's always about holding somebody accountable. They want to put little colored kids stole back of chips from the stove. Colored kid, what's that? And they'll say, "Oh, you causing division." No, but these were the things that they were persecuting us for. It's our history. And so for history not to repeat itself, we have to pass down this information, right? But they don't want this information passed down. Why? Because they want to continue to be that angel of light. They want to continue to be the minister of light. They want to be seen as all good and no bad, right?
Right.
And that's why they create these superheroes. Even when they in the midst of doing something wrong, you'll remember Captain America and Thor and all these deities and entities that created that you've grown to love, right? And everybody know they got in their house. They got a little shell. I'm a collector. They got all those items, not realizing that that's what they are. They're deities. You can't be a Christian that have a bunch of I got Thor. I got no, man. Those are idols. But neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and get it. Go what you got. Let me slide.
Come on. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do marvelous.
Isaiah 29:13.
Select. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 13.
Right.
Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth.
So he says, God is acknowledging. He says, "Oh, y'all draw nigh to me. Y'all draw close to me with your mouth. Your lip service sounds good, man. Y'all are here. I hear you hollering out in the streets. I hear you shaking and all that good stuff. I hear it, right? Go ahead and continue reading. But what's he say?
Come on. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 13 continued. Draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
And their fear by me is taught by the precept of men. So when he says precept of men, you have to understand that every pastor and deacon and deaconess and all the titles and bishops and I don't know all the different titles they got. They say how you say it. They anoint themselves with these positions and these titles.
Right.
But at the end of the day, what God's trying to let you know is that your fear of Him is being taught by the precept of men. Right? You have to understand that all nations at one point feared the Most High God. Right? We saw this when Abraham was moving with Sarah, right? And the king came out and looked at Sarah and saw that she was fair. Abraham said, "Tell me my sister." Right? And that man had a dream, and the Lord told him, "Don't touch that woman." And he came out right, and he was like, "Hey man, why would you do such a thing?" Hey, and Moses, and not Moses, and no, and Abraham told him, "Man, I feared the worst, man. I want you to slaughter me for her. Well, I told you for my sister, like, no, man, take her and take all this, right?" So the Bible shows that at one point all nations feared the Most High God. Now the nations, well, they removed the judgment. How they remove the judgment? By removing you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native American.
Right.
As it is on earth, as it is in heaven. So as God rules the heaven, he had a people that was supposed to rule the earth in his stead. But I say what I mean by that, he gave this group of people his law. He gave them his statutes. He gave them this magnificent standard to ensure that every nation uphold this magnificent standard. And anybody break these laws, well, it was a judgment. But that judgment is not here anymore. Because everybody's screaming, hollering, and grace, and they're continuing to sin. Why? Because the fear of the Most High God is now taught by the precept of men. And what does men say? If you love God, the law's been done away with. You ain't got to worry about it. Right? Let me see you go to court, right, and tell the judge, America's law's been done away with. Guess what? He's not going to hear that. He's going to throw the book at you, right?
Right.
But for some reason, in the world of the Bible, we hold it not to be true. If it was true, then we would live by these things, right? So right there, precept of men is where we at. We're lost people, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man. And the reason why, again, because I'm giving you the jewels, I'm giving you the keys. When I say keys, just because we were born into a world where a great multitude is serving a wooden statue or serving what used to be a wooden statue. Right now they serve in the spirit because the wooden statue is not here no more. Now they serve it in you know, I gotta keep up these traditions. Easter, that's not the most I got. Right? Sunday worship, that's not the most I got.
Right.
But these are the things we keep up because they're the tradition of men. What will we see? What's it? Chick-fil-A and some other restaurants. What they do on Sunday?
Close
They
down.
close down to give reverence to the sun god, to give reverence to a deity that's not the Most High God.
Right.
Because the Most High God says 7 days. It's like 6 days shall I work, and on the 7th day shall be rest. And that 7th day is a Sabbath. I don't see Chick-fil-A shutting down on a Saturday. I don't see these other institutions and things shutting down on the Saturday, which is the Most High God's day.
Right.
But yet they'll shut down for the deity. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see where I'm going? And this is where we're at, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and American man. Most High God's warning that he says, come out of my people, right? Be not partakers of her plagues. Don't just come out here and think, oh, because everybody else is doing it, they gotta be right. You got to question the status quo, right? Go ahead and give me Matthew. Go ahead and give me 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 18 first. Because we're waking up people up, man. It's serious, man. It's crazy. I sit here and try to filter what my kids watch on TV. You can't watch much. Every time you turn around, they somehow figured out some way to have 2 dads on TV. They figured out a way to have 2 moms on TV. And figured out a way to have all types of, indoctrination ideology on TV. And then as soon as we get on here and get to talking about what the Most High God wants, violation.
Right.
Violate, protect the people. Where's protection for us? Well, I don't want my kids seeing 2 men and 2 wives, two Christmas and Thanksgiving. Where's the protection for my kids? Where's the button click to say I don't want to see these programs? It doesn't exist.
Right. So like I said, that was 2 Peter.
No, 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 18.
Come on.
You got that one?
Come on.
Go ahead and read what you got.
1 Peter chapter 1, verse 18. For as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things.
Pause right there. You weren't redeemed with corruptible things. Again, these wooden idols. And we go to every church, almost every church. A lot of them, they kind of remove them, or they have the cross in the altar area, or they have a wooden Jesus or a wooden Mary, and baby Jesus. They have the different versions of the deities they have within that realm, right? Paul is saying here, for as much as you know that you were not redeemed with corruptible, right, things. Go ahead and continue to read.
Con. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 18, continue. With corruptible things as silver and gold,
Right.
from your vain conversations received by tradition from your fathers.
So you see, the disciples are even letting us know now that even when Yahushua was here, right, when Christ was here, people were more focused on doing the tradition of men, and they were still holding vain conversations that they received by the tradition of their fathers. That means they were sitting here saying, man, I remember my mom, same thing we talked. My mom and them, my daddy and them been doing it. They've been doing it. We've been doing it. Just because you've been doing it don't mean you've been doing nothing right.
Right.
Just because you've been doing it don't mean you serve the right God. You are serving a false deity. Because you still uphold the traditions of your fathers and your mothers, then the tradition, when I say tradition, other than the law that God has given.
Right.
Upholding the things that he has given us, you're rather maintain and hold on to the traditions of your fathers and of your mothers. How sickening.
Right.
But then you want to turn around and at the same time, I guess, anoint yourself a child of God, because you gave yourself every other title on the earth.
Right.
I'm a bishop. I'm a Listen to the second power. I'm king pastor, he little pastor, he sub pastor.
Right.
That's intern pastor. All these different titles you want to give yourself, then you want to turn around and deem yourself a child of God. Y'all wow.
Right.
Because nothing about you is exemplary. It doesn't even begin to be an example of what a child of God would do. Because a child of God would do exactly what his father has commanded him to do, which is keep these commandments and live. Right?
Right.
But we too stiff-necked. We too caught up in what everybody else is doing and the traditions of our forefathers. When I say our forefathers, we have to understand our forefathers were in sin, right? So even when Christ is coming down here, he's telling people, sin no more. Don't do these things. Stop. Because you have to understand we were destroyed then. We have been through several different, many captivities in which we were destroyed, right? So, Lockie, give me Matthew chapter 15, verse 3.
Oh.
And I want you to tell me what color them words is when you get there. Because imperative to understand that our King Yahweh is also warning. Just like every other prophet, you have to understand every other prophet came with instruction or with a warning, right? They were instructing us, hey, do this, stop doing that. Hey, do this, stop doing that. And all of a sudden, the Christ commanded, and we said, hey, he said, the game's out, it's done. We ain't got to do nothing else. He didn't say that. It's what, again, our forefathers have told us through the heathen. Pause real quick. So what you got?
So
I want y'all to understand. When I say y'all to understand, for us so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans here in the Americas right now, definitely the so-called Negro, the teachings that your pastor, regardless of his color, his teachings came from those who oppressed him. Make it make sense. Listen again. Their teachings came from a people who oppressed them. We weren't reading the Bible. We didn't have this so-called doctrine.
right.
Somebody gave it to us. And you have to ask yourself this. The person who gave it to you, when they gave it to you, they'll tell you they love you now. But when they gave you that doctrine that you so love today, did they love you when they gave it to you? When they gave it to your ancestors, did they love them then?
Right.
Y'all don't answer. They did. They didn't love them at all when they gave them this false doctrine. When they gave them this false God, this false belief, and this false hope. They did not love them when they gave it to them. So if you're a great anybody, ancestors, forefather, mother, if they've done these things their whole entire life, understand that the person who gave it to them didn't love them when they gave it to them. But you're gonna continue to hold on to it because you feel like you're doing a disservice to your family. But guess what? Let me tell you something. You're doing a disservice to yourself and to the Most High God. Because his words are right here in the book. And yet you still lean on the precept of men because it's easy. Right? Because you think you want to be held accountable when it comes down to it. You think you need to point at your pastor and say, talk to him. I should be good to go. I should have my golden ticket. That's not how it works. Now, again, these priests and prophets come out here in these last days. We're trying to wake our people up. Right? Trying to warn you. Same as all the problems that came before. You're not asking the right questions. You've been taught to ask the wrong question.
Right.
You have the beginning of your ideology of Christianity. It did not come from the people who love you. Your idea of heaven did not come from the Most High God. It came from a group of people who hate you. Right? Go ahead and read what you got.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 3. But he answered and said unto them, why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your traditions?
What color those words? So like
red.
This is our King and how we speak for those who believe in Christ, right? A lot of people believe that Christ is King. I mean, not King, but Christ is God. So like Christ, Yahweh is our King. But y'all get what I'm saying? Like some people say that whole Greek mythology stuff And even when Christ is your God, you still don't hearken unto him. You see what I'm saying? Like the stuff y'all say and the way you live, your whole life is a walking contradiction.
Right.
Like the stuff you believe in, you don't live by. Right? Like, go ahead and continue reading.
Come one kind. Matthew chapter 15, verse 4. For God commanded, saying, honor thy mother, so like thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death.
Pause right there. So the Christ, Yahweh shall let us know what God commanded. For God commanded, right? Saying, honor your father and your mother. And he that curses father or mother, let him die to death. Now, I don't know if you remember the story about a little kid in Israel who cursed the Most High God. And he got brought out to the outside the camp. He got stoned to death. What I mean by that, God has told us, he says, raise your kids in my ways so that when they get older, they do not depart. When you send your kids to preschool and to kindergarten, to other places to be indoctrinated, guess what you're not doing? You're not raising your kids up one to be that to serve the Most High God. What you have to understand is this law. This is what Paul was talking about. I say Paul when he said be the Greek or Jew, right? Either man or woman. What he was saying is exactly what we're saying here is the same thing the law is saying. It doesn't matter if you're a man, it doesn't matter if you're a woman, it doesn't matter what name that you want to go by, he, she, they be, Aries or alien, it doesn't matter about none of that stuff. You are still subject to this law. And if you break it, he's saying that, let him die to death. Right? Because everybody is subject to this law. But we want to sit here and think, oh, this just means everybody knows. You have to understand, our people, just like you see now, were stuck in their ways. We were in the Greek captivity. So just like a lot of us now who are in the American captivity, we call ourselves what? Americans.
Right.
Those who are in these different areas are Puerto Ricans, or Guatemalans, or Hispanic or Mexican brothers, right? All of us taking on the names of our captivities, right? And for some of us, and I know for sure my Puerto Rican brothers, I started with some of them. They be like this about that, but you better not call them nothing else but what they are. You get me? It's like a self-pride thing. It's no different than what was going on when Christ appeared. When people were like, I'm Greek, I'm a Roman citizen, they were taking pride in these things. Because guess what? We were taught what? From kids to take pride in where we're from.
Right.
I'm proud to be in America. Oh, these songs, you take pride in it, right?
Right.
So when Christ showed up, people were taking pride in these things. Even Paul said, hey, I'm an Israelite, but I'm a Roman citizen. Because Paul knew his nationality. He knew he was Israel. Here we are, we're destroyed. We don't know our nationality. So now we take full pride in a byword or a nation that has conquered.
Right.
You have to understand these laws, God is whether you know it or not. Right? But go ahead and continue reading. Let's see what Christ says.
Come one kind. Matthew chapter 15, verse 5. But ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me. Verse 6. And honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of God none effect by your tradition.
See, and Christ is I'm not saying he's complaining, he's warning them. He's saying, look, God says this, but you all say that. And by you all saying that, you have made the law or the commandment of God non-effect. There's no judgment for that, right? Because God says the person must die, and they're saying he shall be free. You see how they're trying to align with Christianity? Grace to everybody.
Right.
Because through grace, it makes God's law, his commandments, has no effect. There's no judgment there.
Right.
This is why it baffles me when they'll say, "Oh, the law's been done away with, so now I can be a murderer. Now I can be the most wickedest man on the face of the earth." But then all of a sudden Christians say, "No, no, 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 you can't do that." Well, I'm confused. You said the law's been done away with.
Right.
You see how a walking contradiction? Either the laws are done away with, and I can be the most wickedest mass murderer, or it's like a mass. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
acting crazy with it. Or we can say the law is still here, and I need to act accordingly and act cordial and do things that are required of me to do. See, that's why I say Christianity is just a walking contradiction. This is why what I call you see it all the time. Uh, let's say in the news, right? Because the news is real bad about doing it. I don't know the right term I want to use right now. I've used it before, but let's say somebody of ethnicity, they do something. They'll look at the whole group, all of them bad. Look at them,
Right.
right? Don't let their brother have a chain or a moon crescent star or a Dawa da.
Right.
Oh, all the Israelites, all the Muslims, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as a Christian go do some mass, because they've been doing it for the longest, but go do some mass unaliving,
Right.
it's a whole disassociation. You don't hear nothing about religion. You don't hear nothing about him being a Christian.
Right.
This man been, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy because it's what they do. They don't mention nothing about Christianity. It's far from it. But let it be somebody of another religious ethnicity or something like that. You're gonna know all of that.
Ah, yeah. Terrorists, like.
Yeah. But again, this is because they hate it. So-called black man, Hispanic man, and American man. This is why I say you have to wake up. Are you gonna continue to serve a false God who most definitely hates you? Are you gonna wake up and serve the Most High God who loves you and says, "Hey, when you come back and do the things that I have commanded you, I am going to redeem you from these nations in which I have scattered you.
Right.
I'm going to come get you myself, and I'm going to make them all pay." That's the God I want to serve. The God that's going to redeem me from the nation who most definitely doesn't have any love for me, right?
Right.
And give unto them what they've been given to our people, right? That's what justice is. Isn't that what they say? Well, what is it? When I say justice, what do you call them? Recently, the executions. When the family be in there, like the family can finally relax because they've received justice when that person's been person be unalive in prison.
Right.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, this is the family. They say the family can finally rest. They receive the justice.
Right.
Justice is served or something like that. Justice
Closure.
Yeah, closure and justice was served. Right.
Right.
But how come when it comes to us, that's something far we don't get to say that. We don't even get to think about closure or justice because everybody want to jump on the bandwagon and being saved. Oh no, brother, I'm saved. Oh brother, no, I'm not going to receive the justice. That's what God is.
Right.
And he most definitely warns his people and saying, "Hey, though hand join in the hand, the wicked will not go unpunished." So guess what? He's letting you know. In Revelation 18, he says, come out of my people. Be not partakers of the plague. I know I mentioned that earlier because in Revelation, everybody understands that's supposed to be the apocalypse, that's supposed to be the end time. So most likely, I was wanting us to come out of it. Why would you still hold hands and still do the same things you've been doing this whole entire time?
Right.
Again, it's insanity. You just pass down a tradition because it's a tradition, right? And the reason you're doing it is because you hate yourself and you want to pass that hate on to your kids. There's no way you love your kids and you keeping the customs of those who destroy it. Right? It's a lot. Give me Mark 7 and 8. This is all through the scriptures. All through the scriptures about us serving the true God. Right? About us doing the things that's pleasing to the Most High God. Now, the heathen will say, I love God and I love Jesus. Well, you have to understand that that's the God of our fathers. That's why you see in the Bible, you read those Christians that do read, it says, the God of our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's our God. Right? And Yahweh was came from the tribe of Judah. Y'all love God and y'all love Christ, but y'all hate his people. It's impossible.
Right.
You don't love the God, you love the God that you created.
Right.
You love the ideology. You love the idea of the God that you created and brought into existence, who's not real at all.
Right.
Because the scriptures declare, though they build statues, the statues can't eat. The man who built the statue will soon pass away, and yet that statue still can't do anything. The statue has to be carried from place to place. That statue can't stop plagues from hitting you. The statue can't bring you back to life. But our God, the living God, he says, I kill, I make life, I make rich, I make poor, I do all these things. Because he has the power to do so. He can stop plagues. He can stop anything he wants to stop. And he can start anything he wants to start, and nobody can stop. I pray that you understand. It's like, go ahead and read what you got for me.
Con on one con. Mark chapter 7, verse 8. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do.
So this one I had to pull this precept because it kind of made me laugh because we do, right? We all do, right? When I say we all do, right? We go to restaurants, hey man, did you wash this? And I'm not eating off the plate if you didn't wash this. And even as somebody wash it, you're like, hey, can you wash this again? Right? But Christ has let us know that was even the washing of dishes was a tradition of men and many other things that we do, that we hold on to, right? But we lay aside the commandments of the Most High God. Hey, brother, the Sabbath service. Oh, brother, I don't keep the Sabbath. Matter of fact, I keep the Sabbath 15 minutes of each day. That's how I keep the Sabbath. Hey, brother, Passover's coming up. Oh, man, I'm going to go ahead and keep Easter, man. I got my Sunday suit. I got the little purple tie, purple vest. I'm going to do some purple things this weekend, man. Right? We lay aside the things the Most High God requires us to do the things that's pleasing to man. And we know, because what is those people who they'll spend a whole year not going to church, but boy, Easter Sunday they stepping in that mug and about 12 of their kids getting baptized that day, and you won't see them again until next Easter.
Right.
Why? Because we're so stuck on doing the tradition of men that even heathens, when I say people, I'm not gonna even say heathens because it's heathens that believe in God, and there's heathens who call themselves pagans. Even they'll show up and be like, hey man, can I get that the Easter ham? I got my Sunday best on, and you won't see him again, right?
Right.
Because we lay aside the commandments of the Most High God to keep the traditions of our forefathers. We have to understand that we were scattered and we were destroyed due to the sin of our forefathers. When I say sin, we were there. We sinned, right? So if we sin then, why come back and sin again? Why be judged and come back and say, you know what? I know I didn't hearken the first time, but I'm gonna come back and not hearken again. I'm gonna continue this line of tradition. Right. And again, this is Christ speaking to his disciples, because this, when I say his disciples, of course, he's talking to the Pharisees. If y'all understand that this whole story, when we're in the cornfield, you corn, but we do a lot of things based off the tradition of men. And we have to wake up, so-called black men, Hispanic man, African American man. We have to break these traditions to step back into the covenant. Because you can't keep the traditions of men and the laws of the Most High God. Because God declares that you can't sit at the table of devils and want to sit at the table of the Most High God.
Right.
You can't do both. You can't be lukewarm. Either you for me or you against me. He let us know you can't serve two masters. Why? Because you either hate the one and love the other. I get what I'm saying. So for those out here that's still serving this false deity, this false god that Christianity has created, you might want to go read the Bible again and read it precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, right?
Right.
And stop letting the soothsayers come out here and sing you a lullaby and tell you a lie and it sounds good. Because again, scriptures keep declaring it. Scriptures are not lying. This is Christ speaking, right? Mark 7:8. But laying aside the commandments of God, ye hold the traditions of men as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. Right? We have to break this, right?
Right.
Because if we don't break it, we're going to continue to repeat it. We're going to continue to pass down this hatred for one another, right? We're going to continue to pass down this lawlessness. That's what comes down to. Think about it. Christianity teaches lawlessness.
Right.
The laws are done away with. You don't have to keep the commandments. God will love you where you at. Man, I promise a lot of these things popped up while I was growing up, because I don't know if y'all remember, I'm old enough to remember them, what they call them, hellfire sermons.
Right.
And the pastors used to speak like that. It was always hellfire sermons, and you're going to die if you don't. And somewhere along the line, as some old pastors died about the hellfire, it became this very passive, we're not going to do the hellfire preaching no more. We're just going to
Right.
laws and done away with it. And here we are now. Kids think it's okay to have 2 dads and 2 moms.
Right.
Y'all do understand that if a child has an understanding of the laws of the Most High God, he can judge the 2 dads. He can judge the 2 moms. He can say, hey, that's not the Most High God.
Right.
And actually repent them, like, hey man, be hard on them. Hey man, it's not the way we should be doing it. So Lockie, I want you to go ahead and read this one. I want to show you out that that's not the Most High God. It's going to be Romans 1:23. But this is going to show how we change things to fit us.
Right.
We change things to fit the other nations. And just hold you ain't got to start. And the reason we know this is because we've always been a stiff-necked people. What I mean by that, we didn't have a king, right? All we had was a God. When we saw other nations with kings, what do we do? Just like some stiff-necked people do, we cry to the Lord. Most High God, we don't have a king. We want a king because everybody else got a king. Right? So he gave us a king. The first thing that king did was break the commandments of the Most High God. He only got opportunity. Because what was God showing us? This is exactly what the other kings, that's what the scripture says. These kings that set up deities and have you worship them, and even they don't even do the things they're commanding you to do.
Right.
Because the kings believe they're above the ideology of the deity they created. They're beyond the scope of that deity. Because why? Because they created it. Right? Look at America. America has laws. You have Congress. You have the president. You have all these people. And every time I turn around, it seems like they've created a system where these deities or these people have this whole ideology, this whole system they want us to keep wholeheartedly and bound down and fold to, but they themselves don't have to. They don't have to.
Right.
Right? They're above it. They're not gonna get treated the same way that we do if they do the same thing. Right? What was it, Martha Stewart? And she's not even the president.
Right.
She had a whole version of prison.
Right.
I said, where they do that? Right? But Salaki, go ahead and read what you got.
Con one con. Romans chapter 1, verse 23. And change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible men. So like it made like to corruptible man, and into birds,
Right?
into in 4-footed beasts,
Right.
and creeping things.
And creeping things. So at this point, we was making idols to everything that move.
Right.
Right? We created some type of idol, some type of imagery. Right? That was cool image. And we see, like I said, we see it today on our TV screens. I mean, when we see it on our TV screens, we don't look at it like that. But that's what it is. Right? Again, Captain America, Thor, these superheroes. In those Marvel world, they're like demigods or they're deities, right? That everybody worships and everybody just I'm gonna do this recognize Thor, right?
Right.
Right. again, that's corruptible men. They turn into some amazing image, Power Rangers, turn into the image, right? What was the? I can go on all the little TV shows I grew up. Everything was an imagery, but it's all these deities and all these things have power, magical power. They can time travel. They can do this. You know who I didn't see time travel by doing that? It wasn't it's like there wasn't no black, Hispanic, and Native American superhero doing none of that stuff.
Right.
So, like it wasn't none of them doing that. So you see what I'm saying? Like every deity and every person they had rats with power, sharks with power,
Right.
mouse, cats, everything had some type of super ability, and all of a sudden, as soon as you put a black man on TV, he had to have no common sense.
Right.
That's about as far as we got with us being on TV, right? Of course, they're trying to change that, but again, it's all about propaganda and how you view it. But Salaki, are there any questions?
Lots of.
That concludes my class. I want y'all to understand, man. We have to wake up, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. We have to be the forefront of our family. What I see with a lot of men when it comes to serving the Most High God and being true is that because of the spirit that has been put on us by the world, right? The emasculate spirit, we tend to almost want to get permission from our wives to serve the Most High God. Is it cool if I keep the Sabbath? I know you wanted to get your nails done. No, you are commanded, so-called black man, Hispanic man, that you are commanded to rule over your house and to ensure that everyone in your house is serving the Most High God.
Right.
This weakling ideology, you have to remove it. You don't need permission from your wife to serve the Most High God. You don't need to appease your kids and make them know. You want them to serve the Most High God. You want your wife to serve the Most High God, and you want to ensure that you are ruling your house the way that God commanded you. Why do I say that? Because again, we've been taught to move a certain way based on the traditions of men, right? That's why in the very beginning, when Eve called herself doing her own thing, right? The way God answered her, you can tell that she was on some. I want to be king. I want to be God. I want to be equal to my husband. Now the Bible didn't say that, but what did God say? His response to her lets me know that at some point she must have had some thought in her head that she could be equal to Adam. Because he said, "No, woman. Not only will you have pain during childbirth, but you will serve your husband. You will be upon your husband will be the ruler over you, and that is the way the Most High God doing things. God, Christ, man, wife, children, everyone in line with the Most High God, right? And that's how we want to do it. I don't care what nobody says in regards to the ideology of this world, because guess what? It's not going to save you the Most High God. They can believe, they can dream, they can sleep. It's not going to change the judgments in the Bible, right? It's like you might ready to start this announcement real quick, but we got to wake up, man. Again, for those who want to check out more classes, make sure. Yeah, yeah, it's like for those who want to get more information, right? Get access to our classes. Make sure that you go to the link in our bio here on TikTok. For those on TikTok, go to the link in our bio. Click that link. That'll give you access to social media platforms. We do post information there. We do have schools in other zones, and we do always. So I want to make sure that y'all check those pages out because we do have things going in other places, and we do post those things from clothing drives to food drives. You see what I'm saying? Backpack drives. We do these things. So make sure you check out the profile. Make sure that you stay in the know. You may have something going on in your area, and I promise you don't want to miss out. You're taking care of the people, right? And we want to grab those service announcements. It's a lot. Let's see if anybody has any questions here. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot from here real quick. Rule for new brother, new sister. We got the I.S.U.K. started at 125th West Holly Road from 1969. Creating two called Black, Hispanic, and Native American. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. That new rule for new brothers and sisters. As you come to school, they are to be saluted only. They're 6 months to shed themselves to the world. During this time, again, you're only supposed to be saluting them. If at that point the camp leader or whoever's in charge at that point would they need a ride, they'll be the ones who will then put something together for them to have a ride. After they end the school for 6 months, if their brother or sister wants to court somebody, they will let their camp leader know. It will be sent up at that time. The brother and sister will court for 6 months. At that time, their brother and sister decide they want to get married, and they will let their head know. There will be a dowry, of course. They'll get married, but that's the process. Again, ma'asra, which means 10th in the Hebrew, 10% of your increase shall be given to the priest fund, to the teachers, right? As far as priest fund and teacher fund, that's optional. Salaki, we just had Passover. For those who went to Passover, I know y'all had an exciting time. For those, we're gonna get it next year, right? With that being said, men of Israel, Ma'aseh, Shabbat, Amijah, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua
Yahuta, Sar, praise and salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Shabbat, Amijah, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
Yahuta, class dismissed.